Welcome back to Debt-Free Insiders. Today, we're diving into a big question. Is the minimum wage in Canada actually helping workers, or is it pushing them deeper into debt? We'll break down what minimum wage is supposed to do, why so many people are still struggling, and most importantly, how you can stay ahead. Stick around, because this is something every hardworking Canadian needs to hear. Before we get into it, please subscribe and give a thumbs up. It helps us grow our channel and bring more important information on debt and finances. Thank you! The idea of minimum wage began in Canada in 1918 and expanded throughout the country in 1920. The objective was to protect workers from exploitation by ensuring they receive a basic, livable income for their labor. The aim was to prevent unfair low wages, reduce poverty and inequality, and promote fair labor practices. But here's the big question. Is minimum wage still doing its job, or is it keeping workers trapped in debt? Let's find out. Many decades ago, when inflation went up, let's say 2%, the minimum wage went up to match that inflation. For many years now, that has not happened regularly, so no wage increases every year have put workers behind. Just as an estimate, probably $25 an hour should be set for minimum wage at this point, where employees would go home after taxes with $19 an hour. If we look at the minimum wage objectives mentioned previously, going back to 1918, in modern times, it's not working. The next question is, how is minimum wage set in Canada? Each province individually makes the call on setting the number. In Ontario, Canada, the provincial government has decided in 2025, minimum wage will go up to $17.20 per hour for general workers, before tax deductions at source. Is that enough? Let's see. Single people who want to live by themselves pay on average $2,000 for rent. This doesn't include food, utilities, transport, emergencies, and so much more. After taxes, they net just over $2,500. Is it any wonder why millions of Canadians use credit cards, payday loans, and lines of credit just to survive? Working hard still puts them in debt and going further into the rabbit hole. Let's be real. If you're not making enough to cover basic bills, you might have no choice but to rely on credit just to buy food, medicine, clothes, and other essentials. Instead of striking, maybe we should focus our efforts on lobbying the real culprit, the government. They're the ones who've allowed inflation and high taxes to create unaffordable living conditions for millions. It's time to demand change. Unfortunately, the answer is yes. Minimum wage is putting workers in debt. Hopefully, after the next election, things will begin to change, so Canadians can live the quality of life they deserve. If you haven't already, please subscribe and give a thumbs up. It helps us grow our channel and bring more important information on debt and finances.